Hello everyone, Time to Grind here, and today I wanted to talk about Levelhead. And Levelhead is a game that is very similar to Mario Maker, but in my opinion is far, far better executed than Mario Maker. And so, Levelhead is a 2D platforming game where you can create your own levels and share them over the internet and, play other people's levels, and there's a wide variety of them, pretty much just like Mario Maker. The thing is, though, is in Mario Maker, there were all of these people making all of these levels, and so it was really hard to get your level found in the game. And so if you wanted to get your level played, you either had to get lucky or mainly have like friends or family that would play your level to kind of get the ball rolling to get those first couple of plays, because otherwise it would most likely just stay at like 0 plays. And so for me personally, I would always find like a small Twitch streamer that was playing viewer requested levels, and I'd have them play my level and then, do it that way, but that is such a hassle, and probably 99% of players didn't do that. So that part of the game just, most people playing Mario Maker didn't actually have people playing their levels. And Levelhead has completely solved that issue. And so in the game, when you make levels and you submit them, they go first to what is called the marketing department. And the thing is there's also this currency called exposure bucks. And the only way you can get exposure bucks is by playing other people's levels and doing good in them and beating them and, getting points in their levels. And you can use those exposure bucks to increase the ranking of your level when it's in the marketing department. So when you look in the marketing department, there's a ton of people's levels sorted, by how many exposure bucks are on their level. And you can also tip people exposure bucks if you really like someone's level and you want it to get to the tower. But it's mainly used to, put exposure on your own levels. And once your level gets played enough in the, in the marketing department, it gets sent on to the tower. And the tower is pretty much just where you can play all of the levels once they get enough, plays. So it's not, it's not that hard to get in, because, you just got to play a little bit to, get enough exposure bucks to get a bunch of plays on your level. So it's a lot higher standards there. And there's a ton of cool stuff you can do in the tower. You can sort by, really specific categories, like types of levels where you don't move to get through the whole thing, or like the music levels, or just really, really hard levels that, take extremely hard tech to do. You can also create random playlists where it'll just give you a random playlist of things in the tower. And there's also this really cool feature called Tower Trials. And it is something that resets every day, and it's like a playlist of 6 high-quality levels from the tower that everybody tries to compete in the same kind of order and exact same thing, and you all compete to try to get the highest score or the highest time. And also, if you just get a good time on it, so it'll say if you beat all of these in less than 10 minutes, you get a trophy, and then that's kind of cool to see how many trophies you can get if you play the game a lot. So the game has a really awesome gameplay loop for most people. That's something like Mario Maker just doesn't have at all, because if you want your levels to be played by random people in the game, then you need to spend time playing random people's levels in the game. And it's really satisfying, because you'll spend just an hour playing other people's levels, which is kind of what you'd be doing in this game anyways, and you earn a bunch of exposure bucks, and then afterwards being able to just deposit all of that money into boosting my own level so it'll rise in the marketing department and eventually make its way into the tower. It's really satisfying, and it's a really nice gameplay loop. And I think that just by itself, is huge, because Mario Maker had a glaring issue in the game, and Levelhead solves it in the most ingenious way I could possibly think of. And another thing the game does super well, in my opinion, is the new player tutorial. In Mario Maker, it has a tutorial, it's decent, but a lot of the features you're not explained about. So in this game, it first teaches you the basics of just playing the game and, kind of some things you need to know. Then it teaches you the basics of making a level. Then it teaches you the basics of the marketing department and, how the exposure bucks work and all that aspect of it. And then it tells you the basics of the tower and everything that you would want to know about out from the tower, and it really just does a great job of showing you everything the game has to offer, but it never feels like it's babying you or anything. The tutorial never overstays its welcome. It does a really good job in that. And in terms of the gameplay and like the platforming itself, the platforming is very, very smooth, and it has a couple of aspects that kind of help differentiate how you pronounce that it from Mario Maker, and so it doesn't feel like it's just a clone of Mario Maker. It does feel like it has its own kind of feel and soul to it. Firstly, in every level you need to grab a box and you have to bring that box to the end of the level in order to complete it. And so this opens up a ton of opportunities because, for one, you can do a lot of really cool platforming things just with the box alone. Like if you stand on the box and then you jump and then grab the box in midair, you have enough time to like throw it back down and kind of start doing like a pogo thing. And so there are definitely levels that utilize that mechanic and gimmicks and stuff like that. And there's also just a ton of things to grab, and there's a lot of features in the game. So you got key cards for gates, or you could hold batteries and bring them to different things that need to be charged. When you kill larger enemies of different types, sometimes they'll drop like meat or an egg or something that you can hold and throw at other enemies. And there's just a lot of aspect in that kind of makes it feel a little bit more like you're grabbing things and you're using items and stuff versus just something like Mario, even though you technically can pick up some things. There's also a ton of different power-ups for the character. There's different things that will like make you be able to wall jump or use a jetpack or like do little blinks in front of you, and there's a lot of that type of stuff that a lot of people will utilize in their levels, and there's just a huge variety of levels that aren't just normal platforming. And with the building your own types of level in this game, it's very similar to Mario Maker, except in my opinion, kind of just long story short, it feels like there's less overall individual items in Levelhead than there are in Mario Maker. Like it feels like Mario Maker, there's a lot more just random items. But in Levelhead, you can do a lot more with the items you have in the game. So you can change a lot of the properties about them, and you really have a little bit more fine-tuning you can do with all of the items and the levels in this game than you can, say, in Mario Maker. And this game is on almost every platform imaginable. It's on Steam, it's on the Epic Game Store, it's on the Switch, it's on the Xbox One, it's on Android phones and iPhones and even Windows phones, because those are still things apparently, and it has cross-platform and cross-save and everything like that. And so what's really cool is, because I bought it on Steam obviously, and I was building a level, and when I was building a level, I would use my mouse and keyboard, because let me just say, the building aspect of levels, I mean, you're definitely going to want, mouse and keyboard if you can for that, but it was so cool to be able to do that. And then when I tested the level or played anyone else's levels, I just picked up my PS4 controller and played it that way. And so it's really cool, at least on PC, to be able to have the best of both worlds, because I think the platforming is better for a controller, and then, the keyboard and mouse for actually building the level. So it's really seamless, and I really like that. And there's also a pretty huge, campaign in the game that has a bunch of pre-made levels, and, I think it's technically considered training, and it'll also allow you to unlock more stickers to customize your, profile picture, or your maps, because every time you, make a map, you choose like a sticker to kind of resemble what it is. And so overall, the game is really, really good. The theme and the humor and the art style of the game is classic butterscotch shenanigans. If you've played any of their other games, another one I really liked of theirs was Crashlands, but it kind of, they feel like a similar company to Behemoth is me. When you play a butterscotch shenanigans game, it's a butterscotch shenanigans game, and I appreciate that. The platforming gameplay itself is very smooth and solid and a ton of fun. The level building aspect of it is really in depth and very intuitive to use. The gameplay loop that this has, designed, where you play other people's levels to get exposure bucks to use on yours. I mean, it is a genius way to solve the glaring issue that Mario Maker had. And just, even if it was like, worse in some elements of Mario Maker, but it had that gimmick, that is a good enough gimmick to make the game amazing. But the game itself also is like 10 out of 10 in every other department that you would be, grading it on. So just overall, there's an infinite amount of fun that you can have in Levelhead, and I would highly recommend picking it up on any of the platforms that it's on. Poor PlayStation, it's not on there, at least not now, but I would highly recommend it. It's a ton of fun, and if you have played this game or just, from watching. I would love to know your guys' opinions on it. Let me know in the comments down below. I love talking with you guys, try to respond to all the comments that I can. And if you enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content. I make 2 video reviews a week, just on a wide variety of games. So if you want to just, kind of see a bunch of random games being reviewed, subscribe for sure. And I also am on Twitter at TheTimeToGrind. If you just want to, kind of sometimes I'll tweet about what I'm playing and, what progress I'm making in games that I'm going to be reviewing. So definitely check me out on there as well. And if you can't get enough of me, I have a podcast called The Media Crash, where we talk about, different game genres or, genres in movies and TV, and talk about our experiences in it. So definitely check that out. But if you guys are having a great day today, I hope you continue having a great day. If you guys aren't having a great day, hope you guys start having a great day. But either way, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. See you guys next time.